Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're going to create a clear roadmap based on the Bible's account of the end times. We're going to take some pretty complex prophecies and boil them down into a clear sequence of events, really focusing on the key milestones that lead right up to the second coming.
Okay, so here's how we're going to break it all down. We're going to walk through this timeline step by step. We'll start with the biblical standards for the return, then move through the really intense judgments of the Great Tribulation, and go all the way to the final, glorious rescue of the saints.
First up, we've got to lay down some ground rules. To really understand the end times, the Bible gives us some very specific, hard and fast criteria for spotting the real second coming. This way, we can cut through any confusion or false claims.
Yeah, this is the big one, isn't it? And while the source material is crystal clear that the exact day and hour are unknown, it's not a complete mystery. The Bible actually gives us very specific indicators about both the timing and the manner of the return.
So here's the crucial point. The biblical standard is a massive public event that everyone on earth sees. It happens after a period of intense tribulation, and it's as obvious as lightning flashing across the entire sky. This is a direct contradiction to any claim of some secret meeting or a localized return in some hidden room. No, this is a global moment.
Okay, so now let's dive into the Great Tribulation itself. This period of history hits its peak with a really rapid, intense sequence of 7 distinct judgments. In the book of Revelation, they're known as the 7 bowls of God's wrath. What's so fascinating here is how you can see the escalating intensity of these judgments. It's so methodical. Notice the progression. It starts very specifically, targeting those who follow the beast, but then it rapidly expands to affect every single part of the created world: the sea, the rivers, the sun, and then finally, the entire planet. And this is where the timing gets incredibly precise. The second coming isn't just a random event. According to the source, it happens with pinpoint accuracy, after the darkness from the 5th bowl and during the events of the 6th bowl, just as the armies are gathering for Armageddon. This is the moment right before that final, cataclysmic destruction of the 7th bowl is unleashed.
So right before the big arrival, that darkness from the 5th bowl judgment expands into something even more dramatic, a series of cosmic events that literally shake the very fabric of the heavens.
Now, we're not talking about your average solar eclipse or a meteor shower here. The source describes a complete upheaval of the entire cosmic order. You've got these incredible visual signs, like the sun and moon going dark, and they're combined with unmissable sounds, the shout of an archangel and the trumpet of God. It's an announcement that the king has arrived.
So why does all this have to happen? Well, this quote really gets to the heart of it. This great cosmic shaking is about removing the old, temporary creation, all the things that can be shaken, to make way for the permanent, eternal kingdom that cannot be shaken. It's a cosmic reset.
So when that sign of the Son of Man finally appears in that shaken, darkened sky, all of humanity is going to see it. And in that very moment, the entire population of the earth will split into 2 completely distinct groups, defined entirely by their reaction.
And talk about a stark contrast. On one side, you have the most powerful people in the world, kings, generals, the super wealthy, all the ones who rejected him. And their reaction is absolute terror. They're hiding in caves, wailing in fear. But on the other side, believers experience that exact same moment as one of ultimate joy, of absolute wonder, and a glorious reception. Okay, so at the very moment of his return, right before that final 7th bowl judgment falls, the Lord kicks off what the source calls the Great Rescue Operation. It's this final, urgent mission to gather all of his people. And this sequence, which is detailed in 1 Thessalonians, is incredibly precise. First, the Lord appears with a command. Then, believers who have already died are resurrected. And right after that, those who are still alive are instantly transformed. And then all together, they are all caught up to meet him.
So where are they all going? The Bible calls the destination the air. The source material uses the specific Korean term kongjung, which really carries this idea of a space that's distinct from and above the earth. You can think of it as a safe haven, a meeting point away from the surface of the planet, which is just about to undergo its final, total destruction.
To help us understand the purpose of this gathering, the source uses this really powerful analogy. Just think about Noah's Ark. The Ark was the vessel that saved Noah's family from the judgment of the flood. In the same way, this gathering in the air serves as a kind of spiritual ark, rescuing the saints from the final wrath that's about to come. So, after all of this, What's the real takeaway from this entire roadmap of what seems like just catastrophic events? Well, the source concludes that for believers, it's not about fear at all. It's about the certain hope of a bride who is waiting for her wedding day. And this, right here, is the ultimate perspective shift. For the saints, for the bride of Christ, this entire series of earth-shattering events, the bowls, the cosmic shaking, all of it is just the dramatic prelude to being united with their Lord forever. It's actually the culmination of a love story.
What this explainer really shows us is that the end isn't some random descent into chaos. It's a carefully, perfectly orchestrated plan of rescue and reunion. So the final challenge for us, then, isn't to live in fear of what's happening in the world, but to live in joyful preparation, getting ourselves ready for that glorious day.